Monday, Grand Rising. I had a rough night last night, energetically, and I know I've been talking about this more and more. And people are like, what is going on, like, energetically, that you're constantly talking about being in an altered state? I'll talk about that, but first, we're going to be talking about manifesting miracles with Neville Goddard. So if that interests you, definitely stay and listen. Even if you're hungover from barbecuing and doing whatever, wherever you are, we're going to be talking about manifesting miracles because every day we have the ability to do this. And our greatest, for me at least in my experiences, is I am able to find peace and tranquility in my days every single day. There's a lot of people that aren't able to do that. But I'm able to find peace and tranquility every day. And I've found the more still that I can make my mind become, the more understanding I have from a greater being or a divine being, God, creator, source. And when you have clarity and when you gain those insights, you realize how truly powerful you actually are. And having power is nothing more than a belief. So if you believe that you are powerful, you will be powerful. And if you believe that you are powerless, you will absolutely be powerless. And it might sound like a very simple saying, but there's too many people in the world, the majority of the population, that feels that they don't have any power. So if you don't have any power, then you don't feel like you have any authority, creativity over the way that your life unfolds every single day. And I've realized that I am a creator. Every single one of us are creators. It's just a matter of if we want to tap into it or if we don't. And I've decided to dedicate my life to being able to tap into different energy fields, play around with different things to see, yes, I'm in Philly, to see what that looks like. How magical, just how magical am I? And when you start getting better and better at this, when you're able to begin to still the mind, one of the goals of yoga is actually to still the mind. And I really didn't understand that for a very long time. Because I'm like, how am I supposed to? The reason why I created my yoga mat, which is called my soul mat, I created those mats because they all have affirmations on them to be able to still my mind. So that when I look down at a yoga mat, it has an affirmation. I am love. I am the creator of my universe. Because I didn't know how to do that. I didn't understand what that meant to still my mind. And out of that was birthed this idea. But the more and more time that I was able to spend in solitude, the more I was able to figure out about myself. The things that I want, the things that I don't want, the things that I have control over, the things that I didn't think that I had control over. We have control over everything in our reality. And I'm going to talk about that through Neville Goddard. For those of you that are just starting with the manifestation journey, I always recommend The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. That's a great starting point for anybody that is just beginning their journey with the mind, the subconscious mind, and manifestation. Neville Goddard is a little bit more advanced and very difficult to understand if you're not familiar with his terminology, you're not familiar with the law of assumption. Neville Goddard talks all about the law of assumption, which is assuming the reality that you want. That's really what manifestation is. Assuming the reality to be that you already have it. Whatever it is that you desire, you already have it. So we're going to be talking about manifesting miracles. And I said that I had a really rough night last night because I absolutely did. Energetically again. I was up from 3 o'clock this morning. And excuse me, had more visitors. Let's just put it that way. So I can't, I'm like so out of gas right now, but I'm just like, I need to do this and come on here and talk about this because that's how I start my Mondays, is with all of you. But there are some serious, crazy energies happening out there, and I definitely experienced another attack, and it's been several in the last couple weeks, and it's crazy. So I'm just trying to get that all figured out. But in the meantime, we're going to be talking about manifesting miracles because that's what we do. We manifest miracles every single day. No matter what happens to man in this world, it is never an accident. It occurs under the guidance of an exact and changeless law. No matter what happens to man in this world, it is never an accident. I want everybody that's in here to think about this. Oh, Danny, that's a really great compliment. I want you to think about this. Think of something bad that happened to you, right? Think of something bad. I'll tell you guys in a second. Think of something bad that happened to you. Whatever it was, whether you stubbed your toe or you got in an accident or whatever it was. What led up to that moment? I bet you many people could be like, oh, you know what? I was thinking of this, or I had this on my mind. My sister was talking to me on the phone the other day, and she was talking about something that really gets her emotionally charged. 2 seconds later, while she's talking about this, she's like, somebody just hit the back of my car. I'm like, what do you mean? And that happened to me, I think, 2 times. I was thinking of something that makes me angry, and I was going to turn into a gas station, and instead of pulling into the driveway of the gas station, I smashed right into a red curb like this high in LA. And I was like, motherfucker. But at that very moment, I was thinking of something that was really making me emotionally charged. So this says, no matter what happens to man in this world, it is never an accident. Can anybody in here relate to a time that something unfortunate happened and you're like, I was in this kind of mood? Or I was thinking of this that led to this. A lot of people that suffer from anxiety and a lot of fear-based anxiety, bad things always continue to happen to them. Why? Because that's the energy field that you live on. You fear yourself into reality, right? No man, your manifestation, comes unto me except the Father within me draw him, and I and my Father are one. What the hell does that mean? What book am I reading from? I'm reading from Manifesting Miracles by Neville Goddard. Okay, so we have people in here that relate to that. No man comes unto me except the Father within me draw him. Nothing that happens to you in your reality happens to you unless you draw it to yourself. No man comes unto me except the Father within me draw him, and I and my Father are one. Your Father is your superconscious, your God consciousness. I and my Father are one. Your subconscious mind, your superconscious mind doesn't care whether you're thinking good or bad. It just reverberates or boomerangs the exact energy that you're always tapping into. So if you're always thinking, oh my God, something bad's going to happen. I know something bad's going to happen. See, I knew I was going to get in a car accident today. I said it. You said it right into existence. That's correct. You said it. Right? I got paralyzed from being in a self-destructive vibe. And now Benny's walking again because he also saw himself out of that self-destructive vibe. Our minds are so incredibly powerful. Joe Dispenza talks about it all the time, that you can literally heal your body through thinking. Right? We're more powerful than we could ever imagine. But we've been disempowered by a system on purpose that does not want us to know how powerful we truly are. Believe this truth and you will be free. Man has always blamed others for that which he is and will continue to do so until he find himself as cause of all. How many times have we blamed other people, circumstances, and situations for the shitty mess that we have that we call a life? We want to blame everybody else. How did you get started on this journey? Thanks, Karen. Karen is the best. Okay. Thank you for asking the question about how I got started on this journey. I'll continue to go back to Neville Goddard, but I kind of wanted to do like a manifesting 101 this morning because I know there's many people that join in here and it's like, what the hell is she talking about? So I think that for a lot of my life, like there was always a part of me that had this level of optimism about things. And there was a part of me that was pessimistic, right? But from when I was a kid, I always remember if I could see something in my mind, I could do it. And I'm relating this to gymnastics, right? This is like very random, but if I could see myself doing a certain tumble, I knew in my mind, I knew that I can do it in reality. But if I, in my mind, was like, no, I can't do that, no matter how many times I try, I would fall on my head, literally. I've fallen on my head many times in my life. I actually broke a table. I was doing backflips, and I got so close to a table, I hit it, and I broke the table in half. But I knew that I could do it. So manifestation is seeing it real. Like I felt those, whatever tricks that I was going to do, like I felt them real, and I'm like, yeah, that's easy, I can do it. And that's with anything in life, that's manifestation, right? That's what manifestation is just seeing and feeling something real. Good or bad, manifestation will happen. So if you are constantly worried about your partner or significant other, I know they're cheating on me, I know that they're probably texting somebody else, I know that they're calling somebody else, why is he wearing this kind of cologne today? When you constantly have these things, you're on a certain vibration of, I don't trust the universe. The universe doesn't have my back. I'm always left and abandoned. Whatever your true belief is. So, getting a little bit off topic, but if I could see myself doing something, I would be able to do it. And I didn't understand that was manifestation. I had no idea that that's what that was. But growing up, like I had one of my friends that would always talk about The Secret and stuff like that. And when she would talk about this stuff, I loved the concept of it because I was like this sounds really cool because I was always into magic. I was always into looking into like witchcrafty things and things like that, you know. And so from then, like she would talk about like these positive things and they were affirmations and I didn't know what affirmations were. So it was just like, I liked the way that felt. I liked that positive mindset because I'm like, oh my God, she's like positive Polly. She's always positive all the time. That's not sustainable for people, right? I'm not positive all the time. I don't think anybody is. But when you try to be, I think, I don't know, whatever, that's a different subject. But I like the way that it felt to have like this thought process to go to that was positive because me growing up, like my mother was always angry all the time. She was always negative all the time. There was always something she was mad about. So this concept of someone showing me a different way, that there was like this other way of thinking was like so foreign to me. And it's the same for many people that have grown up in a lifestyle or a household where it was just always negative all the time. So we take on those subconscious beliefs that life sucks. Nothing's great about life. Life is hard. We don't have enough. So when we grow up with that type of belief system, that's what we become, right? As a man thinketh, so he is. So that was my beginning of manifestation. Then I just adopted that type of thinking over a period of time, right? Over a long period of time. But then I'm like, this feels good that I all of a sudden could bring things to me that I never could before. I could tap into more money that would just come out of seemingly nowhere, right? My phone is busy this morning. Where was I at? Let's go back real quick. Man has always blamed others for that which he is and will continue to do so until he finds himself the cause of all. I am comes not to destroy but to fulfill. I am, the awareness within you, destroys nothing but ever fill full the molds of conception or conception one has of oneself. I am comes to fulfill, not destroy. So many people think that the I amness has no power behind it. But whatever you say after the words I am is what you are, is what you become, is what your life is. I am comes not to destroy but to fulfill, but I am can also destroy. I'm not worthy. I'm not chosen. I'm not good enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not built enough. I am. I am grateful. Right? How do we start our day every day? I'm so miserable. I've heard so many people in my life say, oh my God, I'm so miserable. I'm so miserable. And like people will just say these things without understanding the power of their words, or that their words are their wand, right? We talk about this. Oh my God, I'm so fat today. I'm so sick. Why do I wake up every day? I'm so sick all the time. I'm in so much pain. Those first two words are I am. Do you realize that? Do you realize your I amness? Power of the tongue, watch your mouth. Do we realize that power has the ability, or those words have the ability to shape and create our life? Think about that. The problem is most people don't want to change because it takes a lot of work to do that. A lot of hard work to retrain. I would say retraining the mind is the most difficult thing you'll probably ever do. You can retrain your body, go to the gym. Okay, I'll go to the gym. It might be really difficult for some people to go to the gym, to get up every day and go to the gym. But it's a hell of a lot easier to train and retrain your body than it is to retrain your mind. Which is why none of this stuff was ever taught to us, because had we known this or learned this in school from childhood, we would all have a very different life. We'd be doing the things that we truly, truly want to do. What is it that you want out of your life? There is no reason why you cannot go and get it. But we're indoctrinated in school to tell us we can only do X, Y, and Z. These are your choices. Pick these choices, and that's what career you have to go after. We lose our creativity through indoctrination, and that is on purpose. So that we're disempowered for the rest of our lives, and we do nothing. We ask no questions, and we just do as we're told. For every negative comment aimed at yourself or others usually requires 3 positive comments to balance things out. But when you are saying things about other people, your subconscious mind does not know that you are not saying it about yourself. So when you want to go and gossip, or you want to go and say something rude, your subconscious mind thinks that you're talking about yourself. So think about that. That stopped me dead in my tracks when I read that and when I learned that. Because it's just so profound. Not because I was actively talking about people or whatever, but like if I'm thinking negatively about something, or thinking negatively about someone, my subconscious doesn't know I'm not talking about me. So if it doesn't know that I'm talking about me, then there's a lot of negative things that I am just pushing onto myself or projecting onto myself that don't even belong to me. But they do now, by the way that I think. It is impossible for the poor man to find wealth in this world, no matter how he is surrounded with it, until he first claims himself to be wealthy. This is a very interesting one. I know so many people, and I'm just talking about the truther movement because I was thrown into it in 2020, that so many people in the quote-unquote truther community have a very, very poverty and lack mindset. So I will go back to this. The reason why I say that is because there are so many people that are sitting on a literal gold mine right underneath of them, but sit there and say, oh, I can't do that. I don't have the money. Oh, I'm broke. That come from this mentality that there is never enough in the world. It is impossible for the poor man to find wealth in this world, no matter how he is surrounded with it, until he first claims himself to be wealthy. We are surrounded by wealth. We are surrounded by wealth at all times because there is no such thing as lack. Lack is only in your mind. If you believe I'm not good enough to have a nice place to live, if you believe I'm not good enough to have a safe car to drive, if you believe that you're not good enough to have a safe relationship where you feel loved and cherished and treated well, you won't have it. That's abundance all around you. It is impossible for the poor man to find wealth in this world, no matter how he is surrounded with it. It's everywhere. It's all around you. If you don't first claim yourself to be wealthy. Wealthy means a million different things. Wealth of love, wealth of happiness, wealth of joy, wealth of peace, wealth of finances. For signs follow, they do not proceed. What that means is you have to feel it within your heart and your mind first, and then it follows. You don't go and find the wealth. If I just get a good enough job to make enough money, if I just work this many hours, I'll have wealth. Wealth is a state of being. Wealth is a state of mind. It's not something that you go and attain. If I just work hard enough, I'll make enough money to be wealthy. You have to see it in your mind first. You have to feel it in your soul first that you are worthy of having abundance and having an abundant life. Right? To constantly kick and complain against limitations of poverty while remaining poor in consciousness is to play the fool's game. As long as you stay poor in your consciousness, you're playing the fool's game. I saw having more first before I had it. I saw myself booking these jobs or auditions before I booked the audition. That's the way that you play this game of life. Is seeing it first in your mind before it could be made manifest into reality. I wish I made the rules of life, but I don't. I just learn them. This type of thinking has been in the Bible in so many different ways, a million times over. But we were given the wrong interpretations that were just passed down and passed down and passed down and passed down and passed down. So that we believed that meanings in the Bible were something completely different than what they actually were meant. The message that they were actually meant to give. Changes cannot take place from the level of consciousness, for life is constantly out-picturing all levels. So if you're in this poverty mindset, change cannot take place from that poverty level of consciousness, for life is constantly out-picturing all levels. Life in here is constantly out-picturing. Again, I'll give this example. When you're filming, when film used to exist, right, before all the digital bullshit. When you film a movie on a camera with actual film, and then you put this film into a projector, what projects onto the screen? What you filmed, right? What you are filming in this supercomputer, in this camera, in this movie, what thoughts are circulating all day long in your mind? You go to the store and you say, oh, I can't afford that. It's too expensive. Oh my God, everything is so expensive in here. I really like this outfit, but I can't buy it right now because I have to save money for this. What is being recorded and filmed in your superconscious, God-conscious mind? Whatever is being filmed in there, just as the film on a film roll, it doesn't change. If you're like, oh my God, I messed up this movie, what am I going to do? You can't go over the film. It's already in there. It's already planted. The seed is already planted on that film. In the same way, in your mind, in your superconscious, your mind is a film roll, and it has to play out somewhere. That somewhere is the projected reality. Because again, I could be standing right next to somebody else. They're looking at the same exact thing that I'm looking at. Maybe they have a really positive mindset. Maybe I have a really negative one. I'm like, wow, look how beautiful the ocean is. Isn't it amazing, like just how large it is and just how beautiful nature is? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, the water looks brown. Like it's so, like the sun's not even out today. It's such a shitty day. My projection of reality standing next to the exact same person is completely different. Why? Because my concept of reality is that nothing ever is good enough. Nothing ever looks right. Life sucks. I wish I had a better life. I wish I had more of this. And the other person is like, wow, I'm just so thankful that I woke up today. I'm so grateful that, sharks, I'm so grateful that I get to see this beautiful ocean and that I'm grounded in nature. And then I get all these electrons in my body. The other person with the negative mindset, oh my God, there's seaweed everywhere. It's so gross here. Like, oh my God, there's like bugs that are biting my legs. We are living in the very same moment. But our projection of reality is totally different based on our subconscious programming. Right? Same reality. We're looking at the same thing. We could be looking out the same window. You know that meme of the two men that are on the bus, and the one guy's looking out this window, the other guy's looking out this window. The one guy sees like all these flowers and he's all excited, and the other guy just sees like a wall and he's miserable. You create reality through what you think of all the time. So if you're constantly seeing life through the lens of life sucks, this is shitty, my life is so hard, I never get what I want, I don't have any friends, it's so hard to make friends, I'm not loved, I'm not chosen. If I look at life through that lens, those are the only experiences that can be reflected back to me. My film roll is only projecting negative experiences into my reality, so therefore that's all that I can receive is negative experiences in my reality. Going back. Follow the example of the prodigal son. Realize that you, yourself, brought about this condition of waste and lack, and make the decision within yourself to rise to a higher level, where the fatted calf, the ring, and the robe await your claim. Right? Realize that you yourself put yourself in the very position you are in right now. So there is no more people to blame. It's not my father. It's not my mother. They did this to me. I was treated like that. I was bullied. I was abused. There is no more of that, because that created the scenario that we're in right now, but it's up to us to change it. So we can't blame what happened to us when we were younger. We can't blame the person that left us and now I'm depressed. All of these scenarios have unfolded. The person that left you not because of them, but because of your belief about yourself. I'm always abandoned. Maybe one or both parents or caretakers weren't there for you. So you have a fear of abandonment. That is a self-fulfilling prophecy, because if that is what you believe, that people don't stick around, that I'm always left, that's exactly what happens in your reality. No victim mentality. If you constantly victimize yourself in your thoughts, this reality out here, I promise you, will give you a reason to be the victim. Continuing. Life does not care whether you call yourself rich or poor, strong or weak. It will eternally reward you with that which you claim as true of yourself. Life or consciousness does not care whether you call yourself rich or poor, strong or weak. It will eternally reward you with that which you claim yourself to be true. What do you claim to be true about yourself? What do you claim to be true about yourself? I know what I claim to be true about myself. But what do you claim to be true? Write it in the comments. What do you claim to be true about yourself? Are you worthy? Are you lovable? Are you chosen? Or are you poor? Are you always sick? What are you? What do you choose to be true about yourself? And say the real things, guys, not the things that like anybody would want you to. The abandonment thing has several layers of truth, though. It takes much work, particularly when it's all truth. It takes even more. Not a short road, but a worthwhile one. The abandonment layer has several layers of truth. It takes much work. Every program within us takes work. It's all multi-layered. There is no one thing that's easier to reprogram than the other, because every single person has something different programmed within their subconscious mind from the way that they were brought up or the experiences that have happened to them. Right? Happy Canadian, I will look at it. I am capable and passionate. I am chosen. Guys, are these the real ones that you actually believe, or is this just what you say publicly? I am one with the universe, and all my desires are mine to have. Yes, programs, we pile on top programs. Guys, who's going to be the first one to be honest and say the negative programming that they have? Who's it going to be? Okay. The measurements of right and wrong belong to man alone. To life there is nothing right or wrong. As Paul stated in his letters to the Romans, I know and am persuaded by the Lord Jesus that there is nothing unclean of itself, but to him that esteemeth anything to be unclean, to him it is unclean. Stop asking yourself whether you are worthy or unworthy to receive that which you desire. You as man did not create the desire. Your desires are ever fashioned within you because of what you now claim yourself to be. So even your desires, what they're saying desires are the things that you dwell upon. So they don't have to be positive things. A desire is something that we feel, right? Or that we long for, even if it's not good for us. We don't long to be abandoned, but we dwell in abandonment. So that is a desire. And it doesn't have to be a good one. What are our desires? Are the things that we dwell upon and think about or feel. And most of us subconsciously don't even understand that we think or feel that way. We'll go to a store and say, oh my God, this is so cute. And you look at the price tag and automatically, right before you even could think consciously, your subconscious mind says you can't afford it. You can't afford it. It's too expensive. You don't have that money right now. Or you look at it and you're like, oh my God, I'm so broke. That is what your true I amness is that response that happens in milliseconds of you thinking something. Oh wow, she's really pretty. She'll never want me. That is a subconscious belief. It's already in the background. You don't even have to think it doesn't want me. Your subconscious, that's already programmed that you're not lovable, has already thought it for you. That is what your I amness is. It's that thought in the background that's already playing out before you can even consciously think it through. So if you are worthy or unworthy, it's still a desire that is being manifest into your reality. It's a part of your programming, which then causes your energetic frequency to be on the frequency of lack, victimhood, shame, any of those things. If you were constantly abused by a parent or caretaker, most people end up in abusive relationships that were abused as children. Why? Because that programming is what is familiar. I'm not good enough to have someone that loves me. I'm not worthy of a safe relationship. I'm not worthy of being treated well. So that energetic frequency is projected out into the reality. It sends you all the people that are not going to treat you well. And what do? We automatically say, that person is mean, that person is abusive, that person is this. But what caused that to come into your life? Why are you accepting someone that's abusive? Like so many people that stay in abusive or unhappy relationships for so long. But I love them. They have an idea, a subconscious programming of what they believe love looks like. So therefore, their energetic stamp that goes out into reality will literally magnetize anybody that is on that same frequency, that can give you that same experience. And we want to blame the other person, not because that person's not a bad person, but why are you allowing this behavior? Because subconsciously you believe that that's what you deserve. Okay, so stop asking yourself whether you're worthy or unworthy. You make the decision of whether or not you are worthy or unworthy. And the hardest thing to do is make that decision and dwell in that desire. That I am worthy of love. That I am worthy of having this amount of money. That I am worthy of wealth and abundance. It is the decision that you get to make yourself. Nobody else gets to make it. The person that decided to hire you doesn't get to decide your worth and value. The person that chooses to be in a relationship with you doesn't get to choose, wow, she's really worthy, so I'm going to be with her. You decide your worth and value. And a person that understands your worth and value will come to you. Guys, is my audio low for everybody or just some people? Because they like to just play with my lives. And I won't call them the name that I would like to, because it's not nice. We're going to be nice today. Can you guys hear me? Can you tell me, please? You have to do self-talk until it gets in your soul, and now you believe it. Which is why robotic affirming is so helpful. Because when you say one statement over and over again, it imprints your subconscious mind a lot faster than just randomly, thank you, Tim, than just randomly saying it throughout the day. Oh, I'm so happy. And then maybe you say it another time during the day, I'm so happy. And then the rest of the day you feel like shit. Thank you, everybody. But when you do robotic affirming and you're just repeating it like 10 minutes at a time, you're walking down the street, you repeat this affirmation over and over again. Whatever the affirmation is, it manifests so much faster because you're imprinting it. You're just repeating it over and over again. Your subconscious mind is accepting that as truth. Instead of your old idea, I'm not worthy, I'm not chosen. I'll never have a great relationship. I'll never get married. Whatever it is that you desire, right? Okay, I think I read that. When a man is hungry, without thinking, he automatically desires food. When in prison, he automatically desires freedom and so forth. Your desires contain within themselves the plan of self-expression. So leave all judgments out of the picture and rise in consciousness to the level of your desire and make yourself one with it by claiming it so now. My grace is sufficient for thee. My strength is made perfect in weakness. I don't think we'll be saying those words exactly, but let me go to now. Where is it? Where is it? I fold pages, then I lose them. Okay. No matter how much I try to be happy, underneath, I have a melancholy feeling of being left out. Why? Because you feel you are not wanted. Were I you, I would assume I am wanted. I am wanted. There's your statement. There's your answer right there. Because you feel you're not wanted, you should assume I am wanted. You know the technique. The assumption that you are wanted may seem false when you first try to assume it. Your subconscious mind is going to say, no, you're never going to be loved. It's never going to happen. He or she doesn't want you. You're not good enough. You're not pretty enough. But if you persist in that assumption, you will be amazed how others will seek you out. They will begin to see qualities in you that they had never seen before. I promise you, if you will assume that you are wanted, you will be. It is called the law of assumption for a reason, because you're assuming that which you want to be true. So if you assume that you are wanted, I want you guys to just do a test with something that you are not that confident about, or something in your subconscious. You know, one of you guys on here, I don't know if she's in here today, but she said, I moved somewhere and it's so hard. It's been 3 years or something like that. And it's so hard for me to make friends. You literally just assumed your reality. You said it is so hard for me to make friends. Okay, then it's so hard for you to make friends. The affirmation would be, I meet amazing, great people everywhere that I go here. I am in the perfect place at the perfect time to meet people. Things like that, right? What you think to be true has no choice through laws of the universe but to become true. So through the law of assumption, whatever you are assuming to be true, it is so hard to make friends. That is all that you can draw to yourself, is that it is so hard to make friends. You probably won't make any. But when you start to assume something different, when you start to assume that a person shows up differently for you, watch how people begin to change. And then you're going to say, oh my God, I did that. Damn, I did that. When you start seeing someone differently, they will start to show up differently. When you start seeing your reality differently, your reality shows up differently. That's it. The choice is yours of whether or not you want to stay in a state of victimhood for the rest of your life, or if you want to change the law of assumption and assume something completely different. What are you assuming to be true? It's so hard to meet a great partner. It's so hard to meet somebody that I can fall in love with. What is your assumption about all of these things? Relationships, life, living, jobs. Whatever your assumption about it is the reason why your life is as it is. If you want to change that, all you do is change your thinking. I'm telling you right now, if you do the robotic affirming, just do a test of this robotic affirming and watch your reality change. That's how powerful every single person that's in here, that's how powerful you are. Change what you're thinking about and then watch your reality shift with that. Took me decades to realize being repeatedly cheating on was me. I'm attracted to intelligence because I'm super intelligent. Okay, fine. That's great. But look at that. It took me decades to realize being repeatedly cheated on was on me. Because it's the beliefs we have about ourselves. Relationships aren't safe. I am not chosen. Right? Someone else is always being chosen over you. It's an inside job. It always was and it always will be. It's not out there. It's not a God up in the sky. It's all an inside job. Just like our government. Inside job. Everything. What time is it? Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. I hope you have a beautiful... What is today? Memorial Day? I don't even fucking know what day it is because I don't subscribe to these things. Exactly, but now I'm free. These lives have been helped so much. I'm so glad. I'm so glad they help. Because they help me too. When I don't feel like doing this. And I show up and I do this. For myself. And for other people that need it. I am a chosen one and so are you, Goddess. I'll take it. I'll take it. But I hope that you guys have a beautiful Monday. Moon day. Whatever you decide to do. You're welcome. I'm glad that you guys can make them too. Because then I'd be by myself here if you didn't. So, I literally look like a zombie. Once you said everything turns out beautifully for me, now it's written on a note and placed on the bottom of my computer screen has been amazing and uplifting for me. Thank you. I love that. So everything works out perfectly for me. Write it on your forehead. I have it on the background of my phone. Like I have Gravobi codes on the back of on my wallpaper, and then I have affirmations. So every time I open my phone, my subconscious sees that, and it's just a little reminder. Do hourly affirmations on your phone. Every hour, an affirmation shows up on my phone. Hey, what's that happening? Why am I in half? Okay, this is weird. Have a beautiful Monday, and I will see you on Wednesday. Good, Tim. I'm so glad. Benny says, I am so lucky. If you think that all the time, I'm so lucky. Great things happen to me all the time. Even when you feel like shit. Say it anyway.